all those people to them, have them take two dogs. We'll pay for
they turned in on one of mine. They turned in a couple of
There she is.
I saw him. Yes, oh, way too.
Good morning, everybody. This is Amy with 100 Plus Abandoned Dogs of Everglades, Florida. We need you here. We need bodies. It is power in numbers today. We are here to be the voice of so many cats, dogs that are depending on us. As you know, they have no voice. We have Shelly here from our team 100 Plus, and Zoe and Tiffany, Carol. We have so many people coming together from all different organizations, all different rescues, to say that we are not going to sit back and tolerate. We're not going to sit back and tolerate this any longer. We need a shelter director that is going to work with the community. With the rescues, to try to help and save all these animals that are being housed in the Broward shelter, Broward Animal Care and Adoption. We have Wendy here. Say hey, Wendy. Can you give us say a little something that what you're...
So I'm so happy to have everybody watching us, and the people that are here, we thank them for coming out. We are the voice of the animals. The animals need us to stick up for them because they can't speak for themselves. And our county needs to be doing more and more to bring the community together. This is about bringing the community together to find the resources to help these animals find loving and forever homes. Some of them are left in the shelter for months and months and months without any hope of finding a place to go. And we need everyone to come out and help us find homes and permanent places for all of these animals. So coming out, we're here at the government center, letting our commissioners, letting county administration know that we as a community won't let them continue to slow walk the needs and the changes that this county needs for its animals.
Amen.
So please come on out. We're going to be here for a while. Visit Animals Matter, Unleash the Possible on Facebook. You'll find information about writing to your commissioner.
Guys, as I stated, thanks, Wendy. We have a nice group of people out here that are trying so desperately to be the voice for so many animals that are being housed in the shelter, not with proper adequate shelter. They're being locked in cages. They're not being socialized. They're being labeled behavioral, and they're being killed. Let me start off by saying the reason we are here, 100 Plus, is because you watched us. You came with us live when we were working, trying so desperately with 2 animal cruelty neglect cases just in the past couple of weeks. Tens of thousands of emails that went out to the commissioners with 3 dogs that were 2 dogs tethered, a puppy in a cage, all the emails, all the phone calls, and no support and no help from the animal control. Those dogs, every law was broken, every statute was broken, and those dogs were left to suffer by the hands of animal control and the Lauderhill Police Department. That is not a director that is working with her community. We do not receive any emails as we are partnered with the Broward Shelter. We never, maybe a month, that we'll receive an email of an animal that needs assistance. We get there's no communication. Actually, the shelter director has blocked me, a president of an organization who is trying so desperately to save animals from a kill shelter in Broward that I am partnered with, has blocked me from social media because she doesn't want to work with us. And we're not here to argue. We're here for peace. We are here to save lives together. We so desperately want to work with the director, but there's just no communication. When you voice your opinion in a nice manner and a respectful manner, you get blocked. That's what happens. And that is not a director that is working with the community and rescues that are partnered, and they are 501c3s that are
I want to thank everyone for coming out today. I really appreciate it. We have a couple of people who are going to speak. We thought that we all could use to hear some inspiration today to help keep up this fight. This has been a long fight for many of us. I mean, we're going on, just with this county, since 2012, we fought so hard for that resolution, and to have 7 years later to be no closer to a no-kill county, to be no closer to stopping the animal cruelty, to stopping the homelessness, the overpopulation problems, to not have the programs in place that this county, this progressive, on the edge, excited county that does so much, has not done anything close to what it needs to do for its animals. So I am so happy to have you all out here today, sending a message to the county government, the people we elect, the people that they hire to do our work, and let them know that we are not happy yet. We want to see real change. We want to see them move faster, move forward. They continue to bring new people in who have not moved us forward. They seem to start and stop and start and stop and never move forward for us. So for us, we have got to keep up the fight, and I'm so happy that you all are here today. I thank you all for taking time out of your very busy schedules to be here, but hopefully we'll have an opportunity to send a message. If you haven't had a chance to write to your commissioner, we posted online the letter to your commissioner, a sample. We have sample letters here that you can fill out, sample letters you can give to county administration, letting them know you're not happy. But please visit us on Facebook page, like our page, share it. Let's bring the community together. Really what we're doing here today is bringing the community together. We have citizens, rescues, businesses. Everyone wants to work together for the animals, and we want government to work with us. So thank you all again. Let's let them know. I did want to bring out a couple other people. One of the people I wanted to bring out was Michelle Lazaro, who everyone knows is a huge animal activist for government. She works for the, she is a commissioner in Hallandale Beach. So Michelle Lazaro, if you would come and provide us with some inspiration.
Planning on going first, but thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, let me just say this, that it's easy what I do. What I do is a lot of advocacy and paper pushing. The real champions of this are people like Wendy and Roz and the boots on the ground. All you people that are out there pulling these dogs to safety, pulling these cats to safety. People that are really doing the hard work that the county should be doing. You do it for free because you love the animals. They are doing it for salaries, and they are killing. They are sitting in their offices, and they are not doing what we elected or we hired them to do with our tax-paying dollars.
Yeah.
We did not fight to get rid of Thomas Adair, to hire somebody, if not the same words. We were sold a false bill of goods in Lorelei Combs. We understand that people make mistakes. That is not an excuse or a reason to allow the killing to continue. They can make the changes that they need to, and they're not doing it. So if they're not going to do what it takes, then we're going to do what it takes.
Woo! Yeah.
We are going to do our best to advocate for the animals, and people like Wendy, who did Wendy Sugar Martin from Freedom Freckles Fund. It's a hard, could you take a harder rescue? I don't know. But people like Wendy, who sat down and took the time to write policies and plans and procedures that would have saved dogs and cats. She gave it to them for free. I saw it. County commissioners saw it. She handed it to them. And in spite of that, what they did was they got rid of her as a volunteer in the Animal Advisory
They
Committee.
fired her.
They fired her.
How do you fire a
Thank
volunteer?
you.
Sorry.
Thank you. No, please.
Fired a volunteer.
They fired a volunteer, which is exactly what did them in the last time, and that's called the lack of transparency. You cannot have a lack of transparency in government. People like Roz Harris, who have raised $500,000 in donations
Right there.
and given it to county animals, she should have a seat at the table. She matters. They're alienating her also.
Roz
The
Harris.
people that are out
Amazing.
there who are actually doing the work that they should be doing, they're not supporting them. They're not helping them. They're quieting them. They're silencing them. They're telling them, you don't matter. Well, they do matter. They matter to all of us. And we're going to make sure that their voices are heard and that our animals' voices are heard. So please, give Wendy and Roz a huge round of support. And also give yourselves and give the rescues a huge round of support for all the boots on the ground and the work that they do.
Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. So I also wanted Amy, whose group is on the ground and really on the front lines, who sees a lot of the cruelty, who sees a lot of the devastation in our community that our county has ignored for far too long, even though we've passed rules and laws and put things into place to help our animals have a better life in our county. Our county is not even enforcing those laws. So I wanted Amy to give a little expertise on what she and her supporters see on the ground every day, so that we all have some context and so that the people out there know there's a lot more going on, because nobody in government wants to hear what Amy's group sees every day. So
No.
Amy, if you can give us a little.
Okay, I'm going to stay live so my supporters can stay with us. So, guys, as you all know, in the past 2 weeks, well, first let me start back up. I'm going to back up. When we opened our second rescue house, we went to Broward Animal Care and Adoption to fill up our brand new rescue house in Oakland Park, where no dog is in a cage. They are treated with love. We walked into the shelter. We had about 12 A numbers, which is what they give the dog, no name, and went to the front desk. They would not give us one dog. We walked out of there empty-handed after the shelter director put out a plea that they're bursting and they desperately need assistance from the community. And the goosebumps. Zoe was with me that day. Come here, Zoe. Zoe and I walked into that shelter. We walked out shaking our heads. We went through every A number. These are not foofy dogs. These are old dogs, cataracts, whatever. And they turned us down for every dog because they were so unorganized. They didn't know whether, they said, oh, this dog had a rescue. Oh, wait a minute. The rescue didn't show. I'm like, then give me the dog.
You can't have the dog.
Not one dog was released. In the past 2 weeks, we had 2 animal cruelty cases where over 250,000 of our supporters from around the world were watching us live on these properties, where these 3 dogs were tethered on short tethers in the heat, direct sun, a puppy in a cage that was overheating. The Lauderhill Police Department, 4 police officers came live in front of everybody to witness. They all walked away. They said they don't know the law. They don't know the statutes which are in place to protect the animals. The dogs were left there. Animal control officer came after 5 hours of us being out there, and they left the dogs still in that condition. We have still yet to receive public records requests of any information from the shelter. The shelter director, Lorelei Combs, has blocked me from social media because she doesn't want to work with rescues that care enough, that want to follow the law that are put in place to protect these animals. Statutes that people have worked so very hard through legislation. What? No citations that we know of, because we can't get a response. Not to mention, when we went to the shelter for 4 hours after they took in another dog from another cruelty case, a puppy, they wouldn't release the dog with a crowded shelter because they may be giving the dog back to the owner. That's what I got from Philip and Lori. I guess they're the new supervisors. They're no longer on the field. Listen, the bottom line is we can't rescue dogs because they don't know what's happening. The bottom line is that the volunteers are being fired. Volunteers are not allowed to go into the back of the shelter any longer. Why, I don't know. Where's the transparency? Why aren't you working with your community is my question. We are not here to fight. We are not here to make trouble. We are here to work with this director that was put in place to save lives. Not to label them aggressive and grab them with catch poles where they're going to be killed. And then for people like Roz that worked so hard, I don't know who else worked with you, forgive me, but this dog is not aggressive. Here you see, Hank deserved better and he got better because we have voices that are speaking for these dogs. You understand? They're locked in kennels. They go cage crazed. They're not socialized. I myself was there the other day for 4 hours. I was blocking my nose. I had to wait outside from the stench of the cat piss. I watched people drop cats off, putting them on shelves for hours in boxes, leaving them there, and we were horrified. I don't understand what has happened, but things need to change, and that's why we are here today, because we are their only voice of protection. You see all these people that care, that took the time out of their busy schedules. Guys, we need a rally. We power in numbers. I've said it a million times. You need to start writing your commissioners. You need to start demanding change. We are not going to sit back, and we are not going to allow the treatment for this shelter is a shelter. A shelter should be a safe haven for animals while they are waiting to be adopted or rescued. Not be tortured, not be labeled aggressive. Labeling kills animals. Do you understand? You need to work with your community. I don't even receive any emails from Broward. From Rescue Broward, I receive 0 emails of dogs in need. I don't know a dog's ID number. I want to save. I can't save. I go in the shelter. They don't know what's going on. They're unorganized. How is a rescue that's partnered with the shelter supposed to save lives when they will not work with us? So you know, I have to go to Miami to save dogs because I can't save them in my own backyard. That is unacceptable. That is very sad to me. What do you think? What do you think? It's unacceptable. They've lost it.
They lost their rescue following. Rescue is down. And listen, I wasn't going to say anything.
You need to,
but
Roz.
you changed my mind.
Good.
So about a year ago, the shelter tried to make a positive move when they stopped killing animals for time and space. The problem is they had no plan for the increased inventory. So the animals were stockpiling in essence, and they've been understaffed for over a year now. And those animals they're beyond their capacity for care. So that involves medical, whether or not they can disinfect the kennels, whether they get walked. And then when they become anxious and reactive, they're killed for behavior anyway. And the shelter is so full now, I find it very conspicuous that the amount of cruelty confiscations is way down.
Because they're not picking up.
That's right.
They're leaving them out there.
That's what I have to
They're
say.
leaving them out there. That's why we honestly believe on our cruelty case with the 3 dogs, we honestly believe they were left out there because they were told not to bring them into the shelter. That's my opinion. There's no other explanation for it. It goes against every law and every statute. So guys, we need your voice. We need you to send letters, emails to our commissioners. All the emails will be posted. We can't let this, these dogs are dying. They're being tortured every day, every single day. And it's not right, and we're not going to allow it to continue any longer. Yes, of course. They're putting down anything and everything. Wait a minute, what was it, yesterday? When did Lori Jacoby go to the shelter for a 12-year-old? 2 days ago, our volunteer, who has worked with For City and Shore magazine, wonderful woman, Lori Jacoby, she knows behavioral. And she went to the shelter, Broward Animal Care and Adoption, for a 12-year-old dog named Peyton. Peyton is locked in the back of the shelter right now. He was brought in on a belt, okay, around his neck, locked in the back for behavioral. She wanted to see Peyton. She wanted to assess him because she was considering fostering to adopt. They would not bring Peyton out. They would not let her see Peyton. We have sent an email stating that we as a rescue want Peyton to be seen and assessed. We have not been able to see Peyton, while Peyton remains locked in the back of the shelter at 12 years of age. Okay, that dog is facing death because the shelter is not working with the rescue and the community. It is unacceptable. How are we supposed to save lives when we have a director who is
follow
not...
your statutes and your animals, follow your laws, and do your job. Protect these animals. That's your job.
And Carol's right. At the end of the day, we all have opinions. Opinions really, they don't matter when it comes to the law, when it comes to the officials. So with this being said, there are laws in place, there are statutes in place for a reason. You can't argue law and you can't argue statutes to protect the animals. So for the police officers, 4 of them and a supervisor, to come out on live feed and say, we do not know the law, we do not have dogs, we don't know the laws to protect animals, we don't know the Florida statutes. Well, we're here to say if you are going to be an officer of the law, it is your duty to protect and serve, and you need to know your laws. That is a cop-out, and it is an embarrassment to our officials, to our law enforcement. We are here to say we would be more than happy to work with the police officers to sit down and implement some program to educate our police officers and tell them and explain and show them in black and white what the laws are and what the statutes are to protect these animals. You cannot argue law. You cannot argue statutes if you want to stay to the point black and white. And for those 3 dogs to have to stay out there with no help from 4 police officers patrol, it is unacceptable on every level. And it is an embarrassment. And it should not be this much work to save a life that is suffering, that is in pure neglect. It should not be this difficult. I'm sorry. Well, the paycheck is not going to, it's just not going to happen. The paycheck, she's going to keep her paycheck and think she can continue, or anybody can continue to get away with not working with a community and rescues that are trying so desperately. When we as rescues are going out and called out to animal cruelty cases, and we go out to these dangerous locations and put our lives in danger, and we call for backup, and there are laws in place and there are statutes in place, and they, first of all, don't come out for hours on end. They don't know the law, they don't know the statutes. I want to say that that is unacceptable. Unacceptable. That is not working with the community. That is not helping these animals that are being put in these horrific situations. Media is here. Media is here.
Come out of there without the respiratory letter.
Hey, buddy. As you know, I'm gonna... actually, there's a commissioner meeting at 10 a.m. That's why we're here. So the commissioners are inside this government building, and we all parked over here in the parking lot right next door. So all the commissioners are here inside this building. There's a commissioner meeting at 10, correct? And all the commissioners are inside this building at 10.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's where you gotta go.
Agenda, but they know we're here.
Right, and that's what matters.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then we all need to flood in there. Usually it's at night. You do dog rescue? You do out of date?
I do out of date in Broward.
I want 1 dog out of date. I've called several times. They've never responded to me.
They won't. Reach out to us and we'll try to help you. Is it in the shelter?
It's in the shelter.
Okay,
now
reach out
sick.
to me. Reach out to me. I'll give you my card.
Sick, probably upper respiratory because they want to kill, you know. It's been in there for a while. Some lady in Virginia wanted it. I think I talked her into taking it. And I reached out to some rescuers, and they told me, yeah,
Well-
I'm willing to sponsor it monetarily. I'm saving this one dog.
The
That's all I
problem,
can
yeah,
do.
the problem is when it's out of state, we can't do a home check. If there's other dogs in the house, there has to be a meet and greet. Otherwise, if they don't get along, then what? And they're all the way in Virginia. As a rescue, we're responsible for the dog. You know what I mean?
I get
And
it.
we don't ship and transport anyway.
I
don't ship and
transport.
transport.
I have somebody to transport.
So you can see that there's people here that are trying to get dogs out, and it's challenging. I do, honey, and I'll give it to you in 1 sec. Yep. It's very challenging to get a dog out and save a life. These are 2 rescues that made it out of Broward, right here.
He just adopted.
I know. I was. What is his name again? Chuckles. This is Chuckles. And your name?
Jim.
Jim just adopted Chuckles from the Broward Kill Shelter. See, all nothing but tail wags over here. And heartworm positive, right, Jim?
He was.
He was. He's not any longer.
Yeah,
And then we have Buddy over here with Jerry Edelman, who rescued from Broward. Buddy, you're so playful, Buddy. You're so playful. Your daddy loves you, Buddy. Yep, sniffing all the girls. Yeah, I see. Yep.
it's he does it to me too.
Yeah, he
So
loves-
Don't feel special, okay? Do not feel special.
This is Buddy, another save from Broward Animal Care and Adoption Kill Shelter. How long have you had Buddy now, Jerry?
Almost 10 months.
Awesome, and he's perfect.
He's perfect in every
See that?
way.
Guys, you got to give these bullies a chance. Stop labeling the breed. They are wonderful, wonderful dogs. Amazing. The shelter is bursting with them. And let me tell you something. If Buddy was still in a kennel for months and months on end and going crazy, he would be dead.
I have
No doubt about it.
No doubt about it.
You hear that?
He would never know how to handle himself.
Correct.
He's such high energy, but he needs constant attention. Because that's what he craves, and I guarantee you, he would not have lasted in the shelter.
There you
They
go.
would have killed him for
And
behavior.
and Chuckles probably would have been dead for sure, heartworm positive, right? Was he on last call or anything? Or what was his deal? How long was he in there for?
I'm not sure how long he was there, but we sponsored his heartworm treatment.
Roz
And
Harris sponsored, what's your group?
125 dogs we've sponsored.
125 dogs.
Right,
Your
I'm
group.
blocked.
You're blocked?
Yes.
You're blocked too. Oh, wow. Welcome to the blocking group. We are both blocked from Lorelei Combs.
Oh, she didn't block me. She unfriended me.
She unfriended you. She unfriended
I
me.
started posting a couple of negative
They,
things.
anything negative, you're blocked or you are unfriended.
That's called transparency.
Amen. See, you guys, this is not acceptable on any level. Roz Harris, who has sponsored 120 dogs. Roz, do you know how much money you have given to sponsor these dogs approximately?
I have sponsored nearly $300,000 since Lorelei arrived in support for the animals at the shelter, including $80,000 worth of clinic equipment, part of which an x-ray machine has a 2-year installation plan, and if I don't like it, they've told me I can come and take it back.
Wow, slap in the face. Susan Asewich, you should have been here. You heard Roz. And Roz, with all that she has done to help these poor helpless shelter dogs, heartworm treatment, medical, donated $80,000 equipment to the shelter. She has been blocked from the director. What is that? How does that happen? How does that happen? My mind is just baffled about this. Yes. Hi.
I'm Barbara Middleton.
Okay.
I'm from Naples, a girl from Naples. I'm one of the German Shepherds.
Okay.
I just want to know that you know that I'm here.
Okay. You're Barbara.
Yes.
This is Barbara all the way from Naples. Is this your husband
Yes,
here?
this is my husband Michael.
Hi. Did you come out because I asked you to, or did you see it? Where did you see
I
it?
saw it online.
That's awesome. All the way from Naples.
Yes.
How many hours did it take you to get
It
here?
took us about an hour and a half. And
This-
I'm so concerned about these animals
I am
being
so
outside.
grateful to both of you. Thank you so much for being here. and for being the voice.
And I hope these animals are.
We got to keep fighting.
Yes.
That's what we have. All they have is us.
I agree.
That's all they have is us. Thank you both so much. You hear that, guys? All the way from Naples came out to support, to be here today. People care about the animals, okay? They're not going to sit back and they're not going to allow the treatment of these animals and not to work with our community to help save these animals. Do you understand? They think that they're going to be able to shove it under the rug, just like with the cruelty case that we dealt with, and the thousands, tens of thousands of emails that you all took time, no matter what state you are in, you took time, you CC'd me, I saw the response. It's automated, it's a slap in the face, it's disrespectful, it's unacceptable. They don't want to take responsibility, they don't want to take accountability for their actions and their negligence. And here you are today with me yet again, being the voice for all of these helpless animals that are suffering, that are being locked in kennels for months, not being socialized, labeled behavioral, killed for no reason. I'm not going to lie to you, we have a serious, serious problem in our community, okay? We have got to educate our community because the community needs to understand that when you take in an animal, whether it's a dog or a cat, it is a lifelong commitment. That is your promise to that animal to work through any obstacle just like a child. You do not dispose of an animal. If I receive one more phone call in a day that somebody needs to get rid of their dog, get rid of their pit bull, they're moving, they whatever. I'm so over the excuses, and we are here to say that it is also a community, it is a major community problem here in South Florida. Whether it's Broward, whether it's Dade, there is a serious mentality war going on here. We've got cruelty, we've got backyard breeders, we've got people on Craigslist that are flipping, breeding for profit, sick individuals that should be in jail for life for cruelty, like Ollie and all the other dogs. I can't even think of, there's so many. We've got a serious mentality war. We all know that without changing the mentality, that it starts with education. We all know it starts with educating the public, and that is why we are here today to educate all of you. No matter where you are, you can make a difference by sending an email to the commissioners. You can make a difference in your own backyard. You can learn from us. Our live video, our raw feed is transparency. There is no editing. So if you follow us, you come along for every journey that we endure and we experience, you're with us. Animals are family. Animals should not be locked outside, in kennels, in boxes, on tethers. That is, don't get an animal if you're going to treat an animal like that, please. If you need to be educated, we're here to educate you. We're here to answer questions for you. Someone dumped on my porch in a sealed cardboard box 2 months ago. I'm not surprised, Cynthia. I'm not surprised. Thank you. So we have channel 7 and we have channel 10 here.
Special, but not in a good way.
I'm gonna flip the camera a little bit, get it off of me for a little bit. I'm gonna keep you with us. You can jump on, you can jump off, you can stay on, you can do whatever you want to do. Channel 7 News is here. Channel 10 just pulled up. We need to get this out on the media. It is so important. Right, buddy? Right, buddy? Are we your voice, buddy? Huh? Are we your voice, handsome boy? Look at this gorgeous boy. He was also in the kill shelter. If he was still there, he would have been labeled and he would be dead. Thank God for people like Jerry. We need adopters. We need fosters. In order for us to continue to save all these beautiful dogs like Buddy, we need fosters and we need adopters. And all these beautiful people that came out here today to be the voice, that are standing out here. Thank God it's not raining. Thank God it's not sunny. hot, but it's not brutally sunny. Regardless, we would be here anyways. It wouldn't matter.
I know, and this was the dog that her and I hooked up on. Yeah.
Thank you, Pauline, and thank you everybody that's here with us from New Jersey. Again, this is for any of you that are jumping on. This is Hank. He was at the kill shelter at Broward Animal Care and Adoption, and they grabbed him with the catch pole, labeled him aggressive, grabbed his neck with a catch pole, biting on a catch pole. I'm sorry, yeah, there's two, as you can see, two catch poles. Broke all of his capillaries in his eyes the way they handled him. And then, as you can see, he's with his daddy, and he's adopted, and he's not aggressive. So stop labeling our helpless animals that are brought to these shelters that are so stressful on these dogs and killing them. Labeling kills. This is a gorgeous pit bull staffy that was in the shelter in Broward Animal Care and Adoption named Hank. Again, grabbed with two catch poles around his neck, labeled him aggressive, and there you have it right there. There's no aggression. No aggression.
That 2 seconds video?
Yes. I'm live though.
I know, when you're not live.
Oh.
Everybody knows animals are treated differently than even Fort Lauderdale, right across the border.
What's the matter?
No, Wilton Manors, he trained them. You get a loose dog, the police show up. He's good with the feral cats, he knows the rules. You go right over the border to Fort Lauderdale,
correct.
And it's different.
Correct.
It starts from the top. They have to implement
the
programs
officials. That's why we're here.
These people that work for them to do their jobs properly. There's statutes in place. There's laws in place. They just have to.
That's what I've been preaching the whole video.
That's all you have to do is do your
That's
job. And your job is to.
What is your name, sir?
I'm Maurice Mizrahi.
And you're from Wilton Manors.
Wilton Manors, yeah.
Carol and I used to live in Wilton Manors. We know very well. And as this gentleman is stating, they have implemented. The officials know the law. It also, exactly. Correct.
There's a whole bunch of variables.
It's like, it's Russian roulette. It's roulette.
It should be 1 + 1 is 2.
Right.
If you see an animal suffering, do your job. That's as simple as that.
The bottom line is that the police officers need to know their law. It is their duty to know their law to protect animals. And they need to know the statutes, and they need to do something and care enough. It shouldn't be that we have to hold our breath when we call an officer and pray to God that this officer is going to be an animal. Stop passing the buck to the next person.
The department passed the buck to Broward County Animal Control. We sent letters to the governor. They
Thousands.
passed the buck. Everybody's passing the buck. Do your job.
That's right. Thank you.
I hear it.
Carol or Tiffany or Zoe, one of you, can you take over the camera for a little bit? I need to talk to somebody and I don't want to shut down. Just walk around and talk, you know, speak. I'm gonna hand this over to Tiffany for a little bit, guys. I need to speak to somebody. Got it? Remember, you gotta hold this. You're gonna have to put your sign down for a little bit.
All right. All right, guys. I'm not Amy, so I'm gonna flip this back over so it's not on me. If I lay. Okay. And we are here still. Everybody is out here. Different rescue organizations, private citizens, people that have volunteered for the shelter, worked for the shelter. Everybody here for the same common goal. To try to make change in Broward County. That's the ultimate goal here. We are their voice. They have none of their own. So it is up to us to be their voice. We are here on the corner of 2nd and Andrews, right at the Broward County Governmental Center. That is where we have assembled today. There is a commission meeting at 10 a.m. So that is why this was put together and why we are here right now. We need laws changed. There is now another news station here, which is awesome.
I give it to,
oops, sorry. We are here on the corner. We are making noise. We are letting our voices be heard. And this is what it takes to get any kind of change. Power in numbers. We wish there was more of us here to make a bigger stand, but this is still a great show of support. Again, we've got everyday citizens. We've got people from several rescue groups, including ours. We have shelter volunteers, previous shelter employees, all here, all for the same exact mission, because we are their voice. Here's our fearless leader.
Sorry. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. We have, as you can see, we have news here to get the word out. We are here to say that the director is not working with the rescue community. We have had 2 animal cruelty cases with no assistance, with laws and statutes in place allowing these dogs to remain in their situations where they are suffering. And we are here to say that we are no longer going to stand for a director who is put in place to work with the community and with rescues, and to block them and delete them and unfriend them from social media because she does not want to face the problem. They are locking dogs in cages for months on end. The shelter is filthy. It is not sterilized. The dogs become labeled behavioral, and then they are put to their death sentence.
Lisa, foster.
Yes, hi. Nice to see you. How are you?
Good, good.
Oh, wow, what a nice surprise. He's doing amazing, by the way.
Good, good, good. What is the I'm a foster from Broward.
Awesome.
So I reached out to her.
Awesome. This is Lisa. She had fostered Goodrick. Thank you, Lisa. Great people all over the place that care and love animals and that are here to be absolutely, Robin. If Lorelei Combs cannot continue to start to work with the community, which is where she needs to start, and rescues, then she needs to go. We need replacement, somebody that cares, that's going to work with the community and with the rescues to save lives. And that's why we are here today, to be the voices for so many animals that are suffering. I'm glad you're all with us today. I'm going to flip it around. You can see everybody's out here holding up their signs, and what they say is animals matter, we are their voice. And then there are also dogs that have been killed.
Get a training program together for your employees, and get a program together so you can educate people, all agencies, police departments, animal control. Get a training program together and train your employees properly. I wonder, it's like 90 degrees out here. I wonder how many animals are suffering right now. How many animals would you drive away and let suffer right now?
That was, you heard Carol. Everybody's very heated and very passionate. These are not crazy extremists. These are people with a brain in their head and people that care about the animals. We're not here to fight. We're here to fight for them, but we are here to work with the people, with the community. This is not to be starting a war. This is to put a fire out and to start communicating with our community, with the director, with the officials, with animal control. This is a peaceful, this is why we're here. We are peaceful people to work together with our community, with our director, Lorelei Combs, with the officials that do not know the law, that do not know the statutes.
One common goal, and that's to protect the animals, and that should be the common
That's how it should
goal.
be. That's how it should be.
Goal. Whether you're an animal rescue, whether you're an animal control, whether you're a police department, the one common goal is to protect those who don't have a voice.
And that's why we're here today.
I'm already late, but 2 more minutes won't matter. Do you guys need volunteers?
Always.
So I just call you up and I can come and help with
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you, honey.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And everybody needs to be on the same page.
Absolutely.
Broward County laws, they need to be enforced across the board, regardless of what city you're in. It's a Broward County law.
And a
It needs to be
statute.
enforced. Everybody needs to know the law. They need to know how to go about policing the law, protecting the animals. You can't have one officer show up one day and go, I don't know the law, and then you have another officer show up another day that goes on the property, removes the dog, and gets the dog out of there because it's dying in a crate.
Please, I need you.
I'm on the sidewalk.
And who are you? What is your name?
I'm Elena.
Elena. And tell us, why are you here today, Elena? Same reason?
Support y'all.
Thank you. Are you supporting 100 Plus, the cause? Did you see it on social media? See, there you have it. Where are you from?
I'm originally from St. Petersburg, Russia.
And where do you live now?
I've been in the United States for 20 years.
Wonderful. What city are you in? Fort Lauderdale. Thank you so much for coming out and being the voice. So very much. Thank you. Zoe and Shelly are sitting here and holding up signs in this heat and trying to get the word out. But we're trying to educate, guys. Like Tiffany was saying, and I've been reiterating and saying repeatedly throughout this video, over and over and over again. We have to have a director and animal control and officials that, first of all, that know the law, okay? Laws, statutes that are put in place to protect our animals. It is so disheartening to me that when we are out on a cruelty case and we call the police and we call animal control, 4 police officers come out at a time. All 4 police officers from Lauderhill clearly stated on live video that you witnessed just a couple weeks ago that they don't know the law. They don't have a dog. They don't know the law, and they left the animals in that condition. Now listen, if they don't know the law, then they need to reach out to somebody, a supervisor, a sergeant in place that does know the law, or learn the law. The law is the law. You cannot get away with saying, I do not know the law. You cannot get away with saying, putting out a bogus press release from the police department stating that we investigated. If you have any concerns, you need to contact Broward Animal Control. That is an embarrassment to an officer, a police officer. 4 police officers. Where's the chief in charge? Where's the sergeant in charge? Where is there somebody in the Lauderhill Police Department that care, that are, I would be so embarrassed, so embarrassed. Our supporters inundated and saturated the Lauderhill Facebook page and asking questions, and not one person got a response from any officer. Instead of saying, you know what guys, thanks for bringing this to our attention. We want to implement, we want to put in a program and have our officers know the law that are in place and statutes to protect animals. We're going to have a class like a lot of police officers from different counties do. That is what should have been done. We would be more than happy to work with them. because we know what we endure every day. Communicate with your officials, build a relationship, work together instead of, you know, not responding, not taking responsibility, not taking accountability. And then you have a shelter director, Lorelei Combs, and her group of whatever employees that are just basically passing the baton, not taking responsibility, not answering, and not doing their job on countless attempts of us reaching out to them for assistance and not getting answers. It's always, well, it's not cut and dry, and the laws are right there for everybody to see, and they're implemented for everybody to see for a reason. Need to breathe for a minute. Hi everybody, good morning.
That's what builds on you.
Not going away. We're here to say that we need.
I love kids. I like dogs. I love kids.
Are you a commissioner?
No. Yeah, my name is Jerry.
It's worth a shot.
Is it a big chamber?
No, so everybody keeps asking me about Peyton. So guys, a lot of people have been coming up to me. You're with me, Mom. What's your name? Claire. Claire. So let me just say what happened with, it's a 12-year-old dog that is named Peyton, that is at the Broadwood Animal Care and Adoption. It is a kill shelter. And it is locked in the back. It was brought in on a belt that you would literally hold your pants up around its neck. One of our wonderful volunteers went on her own to the shelter. She has very tough dogs in the past in her life. She was an editor at City and Shore magazine, respected person from the community. She literally went to the shelter to meet Peyton. She wanted to meet Peyton. She wanted to assess. She wanted to see, with the assistance of somebody from the shelter. She was told she cannot meet him. She cannot see him. Apparently, they told her after the fact that he was no longer there. That is not the case. Now, let me be clear. 100 Plus had no idea about her going to the shelter to meet a dog that was facing death locked in the back. Once that was brought to our attention, with the help of Roz Harris, reaching out to the director, Lorelei Combs, sending an email, that 100 Plus volunteer went in to meet Peyton, wanting to assist, to foster, to adopt, to see if it would be a good fit for her beautiful home, mind you, retired in Davie, would have its own wing in her house, okay? They did not allow her to even lay eyes on this 12-year-old dog that is locked in the kill shelter. So I got an email yesterday morning, very, very early, which I can show you the time of events, from the rescue from the coordinator, and asked me if I was interested in Peyton, and I responded back saying that a 100 Plus volunteer went there, told them the details, and asked them if they were available for us to come to the shelter, this was yesterday, to meet Peyton and assess Peyton. No response whatsoever. No response whatsoever. Today is Tuesday. That dog is still locked in the back, 12 years old. Nobody's been able to see. That's my response. That's my answer to you. We're not done trying. Lori's planning on going back today to see if she can see the dog again. There's a lot in the back. Yeah. What? We are? So I guess we're going upstairs. I think they're taking. Well, there's a commissioner meeting at 10. So is it 10?
It is actually 12 after 10.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But that's the truth.
I saw, I was volunteering that one time. They put a dog out that I'd never seen before. Very cute. Never got on Pet Harbor.
Never what?
Never went on Pet Harbor at all.
Never was on Pet Harbor. Did it ever get out? Got killed? Because they don't even share the dog. Listen, we have taken out so many dogs from shelters, Broward and Miami, that are labeled behavioral. And we get in the car and they're licking our face off. They're behavioral because they're terrified. They're terrified in the shelter. I'm terrified walking through just to save their little life. I get sick to my stomach, guys. You see, we take all of you supporters, 255,000 of you, to the shelter as we walk through the kennels, and we hear them crying and barking. And they're labeled aggressive and behavioral. And we take them out of there and we put them in the car, and you see how amazing that they are. With all of us, with everybody, and then we get them adopted. We let them decompress. We show them what true unconditional love is and what compassion is. So labeling an animal in a kill shelter with no networking and socializing, and reach out to rescues that are willing to take in a dog that's labeled behavioral. Give them a chance. Don't lock them in the back of a shelter where they're out of public view, or you don't reach out to rescue saying, hey guys, there are dogs that are in the back of the shelter. There are dogs that we're labeling behavioral because they're not doing well in the shelter environment. Would any of you be willing to come in and assess them before we put the needle in them and kill them? Give them a chance, be their voice. They're not doing this. So this is our problem, and that is why we're here today. We're here today for a peaceful rally to say we want to work with our shelter director. We want to work with our officials. We can't do this without working together. We're not crazy extremists. We are here because we are animal lovers with hearts, and we dedicate our lives every day, day in and day out, to save these animals that have no voice. So now we're going to be heading upstairs, I guess. Thank you. We're going to be heading upstairs. Bear with me. I guess we're going upstairs. Where's Carol?
I think she's probably already up there.
Let's go. Ready? I might lose. Shelly! I might lose. I'm going to flip it. Woo! I don't know if I'm going to lose my connection. So if I'm not clear, for some reason, we are inside the government building. There is a commissioner meeting.
On the 4th floor.
Okay. I'm going to put my phone down. Okay, but we can't. Can we go up here? Okay, let's go. All right, let's go. Oh, that's what I was wondering. I'm like, what's going on? Thank you.
Fourth floor, don't sign in. Ma'am, ma'am.
No, he said don't sign in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He told us to sign in.
Stop at the desk and you get one of these.
Okay.
Everybody
Thank
wears
you.
one of these.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Out before you leave the building.
No follow-up on the 3 in the backyard. We were told that they were taken in. We were told that they're still not out there. That's the last we heard a few days ago. Watch it.
Right, that's public record that we never got.
What? Never got public, no,
Yeah,
correct.
it's public record. We requested it. Nobody gave it to
Yeah,
us.
we're going up on the escalator on the 4th floor of the government. Right, and that's it. Where's the transparency on the dogs that we fought for, the 3 dogs on the property? We've received no information, no updates from the officials for animal control that we sent in public records request. Actually, I think 6 of us sent it in and still no response. It's disgusting. Taking you. Can you see me, guys? Can you see me clear? If I put the phone down, It's just because I don't want people to really kind of know that we're videoing if we're not allowed to, and I don't want to have to put you away. Why? They make you? Do they make you shut it off? I don't think so. I don't. It's public. I don't think so. We'll wait. Keep going. Sign in, don't sign in. We'll see, guys. Just hold on. Bear with me, okay? Bear with me. I'm going to keep you guys on, okay? Just stay with me.
Get a basket, grab basket.
I throw it away. I think so.
All right, Stephanie. Look, that's not allowed to, right? Hold it for her.
That's fine.
So when you leave, just don't forget it.
Okay.
I like this. It's like a phone case. It's got a purse collar.
Okay. Guys, gotta shut down. Cell phones are not allowed. We'll be back. Sorry.